Welcome back to Insidious Mysteries with Blair.
And Sydney.
Today's mysterious case is about Brian Shaffer.
Today we are talking about a missing person. If this is in any way triggering for any viewers, maybe this video isn't for you, and hopefully see you in another one.
His name is Brian Randall Shaffer. His race is white. Time of the incident, he was 27 years old. Height is 6 foot and 2 inches. His weight is between 160 and 165 pounds. His hair is brown, his eyes are hazel. He went missing 4th of January 2006, Columbus, Ohio. He has scars, stroke marks, stroke tattoos. He has a tattoo on his upper right arm and a dot on his left eye iris. His interests are playing guitar and being a medical student.
Brian was born on February 25th, 1979, in Pickering, Ohio. Brian Randall Shaffer was a responsible son and student. After graduating high school in 1997, he attended Ohio State University, OSU, where he later began his studies at the OSU College of Medicine in 2004. However, his real dream was to start a band. He was drawn to the tropical lifestyle of Jimmy Buffett and adored Pearl Jam enough to get their logo tattooed on his arm. He met his girlfriend, Alexis Wagner, in 2006. She was also a second-year medical school student. Those closest to the couple believe Brian was planning to propose to her during their spring trip break to Miami that was planned just before Shaffer's disappearance. Brian Shaffer's family was first struck with tragedy in 2006 when his mother died of bone cancer. Then on March 31st, 2006, Brian Shaffer and his roommate William Clint Florence walked to the Ugly Tuna Salona bar in Columbus University District, eager to blow off some steam from their spring finals. Around 10 p.m, Shaffer called his girlfriend to confirm their trip and to tell her that he loved her. Wagner was headed to visit her parents in Toledo before reuniting with Shaffer on Monday morning. After shots and beers at the Ugly Tuna, the two men ambled to the Arena District and short north, where they met Meredith Reed, Florence's friend, who offered to drive them back to the Ugly Tuna. As security footage outside the Ugly Tuna confirmed, all three of them rode to the escalator to the bar's second-story entrance at 1:15 a.m. For some reason, Shaffer re-emerged outside before 2 a.m. and was seen chatting easily with two women in their 20s before vanishing. Florence and Reed tried calling him several times, but to no avail, and went home when the bar closed. Calls from his father, Randy Shaffer, and Wagner also went unanswered all weekend. On Monday morning, Brian Shaffer missed his flight. He was now officially seen as a missing person.
CCTV footage. During the first few days of his disappearance, up to 50 cops searched for him. Shaffer's friends and relatives were questioned, and everyone except his roommate, who refused, but everyone else passed the lie detector tests. For some reason, those two women he was seen chatting with were not asked to take tests. Wagner reportedly called his cell phone every day, but it went straight to voicemail, until one night in September when it actually rang 3 times. But Shaffer's wireless provider said that it may have been a computer glitch. Additionally, his phone was not GPS enabled, so its location wouldn't be determined. But a ping from the phone was detected at a cell tower 14 miles northwest Columbus. Though Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder spoke of the disappearance of Brian Shaffer at the Cincinnati concert, the Columbus Police Department remained baffled by the case despite the evidence they did have. The final footage of Brian Shaffer from the security cameras at the Ugly Tuna clearly showed him walking off screen and back toward the bar entrance before disappearing entirely. It was certainly possible that the cameras simply missed Shaffer before he left the scene, but one camera pans continuously around while the other was manually operated. And while the bar also had one other exit, it led to a chaotic construction site. Investigators then wondered if that meant perhaps Shaffer had disappeared on purpose. He could have changed his clothes or left through the exit that led to the construction site. But Shaffer's family has always insisted that there was no motive for him to fake his disappearance, and indeed it seemed he had more to look forward to than to escape from.
Where his case stands today, when neither Brian Shaffer's credit cards, bank accounts, nor cell phone were used a single time in more than a year, his family began to lose hope that he might still be alive. Shaffer's remaining family consists only of his younger brother, who is still searching for him. Hope briefly came and went in 2020 when a photo of what looked like an American man who was homeless in Mexico and who bore an uncanny resemblance to Shaffer went viral.
After rigorous facial analysis, however, the FBI determined that it wasn't him. If alive, Brian Shaffer would be 45 years old. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation released a digital mock-up of his face to reflect that age progression in hopes that someone might miraculously spot him, should he still be alive. For anyone who does, Central Ohio Crime Stoppers has offered a $100,000 reward.
I personally think, Blair, that he doesn't want to be found. And I do believe those two women were helping him.
Okay. But do you think they already knew each other beforehand? Because to me, I don't care if you're extremely drunk or not.
No, yeah.
You cannot physically be extremely pally with someone you don't even know.
No, definitely, you really can't. It's just, no, it doesn't matter how drunk, tipsy. The way they were talking so easily, they definitely have a past. They know each other. They've got to have.
They've clearly knew each other for years. Like, for me personally, Sydney, I would say his roommate would be my main suspect.
No, definitely.
He acted extremely suspicious and refused, bear in mind, refused to do a lie detector test.
I think he has something to do with it as well, if I'm honest. Blair.
Exactly. If you've got nothing to hide,
you would take it.
Exactly. You'd prove yourself innocent.
Well,
he didn't even try. He just refused to do it.
It is very strange to me.
Okay, right. Here's a conspiracy theory for you, right? Do you reckon his roommate took Brian's phone and kept it, turned it on, as for him would be wrong timing, but for his girlfriend, Alexis, do you reckon she called his phone at the moment he turned that phone on. And do you reckon, once the phone rang, bear in mind, it rang 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon he's then panicked, switched it back off, and placed it 14 miles away from that bar?
Well, saying that, still to this day, this case is still unknown. That's all for today's case. If you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, and we will be back next week with another. Stay tuned. Bye for now.